The UK's immigration rules are changing again in 2026, and if you're planning to settle here, the goalposts just moved. From a brand new earned settlement system that could double your weight for ILR to stricter English requirements and higher salary thresholds, the path to staying in the UK is becoming a lot more complex. If you are a student, a skilled worker, or already living here, you need to hear this because your timeline for permanent residency might have just changed. Hi everyone and welcome back. If you have been following the news, you know that the 2025 immigration white paper has started turning into a real law this year. 2026 is a massive transition year for the Home Office. We are moving away from automatic settlement after 5 years and towards a system where you essentially have to earn your right to stay through economic and social contributions. Today we are breaking down the 5 biggest changes: the earned settlement system, the new B2 English requirement, graduate visa cuts, salary jumps, and the full rollout of the ETS system. Stick around until the end because I'll be sharing practical advice on how to protect your status if you are already in the UK. So section 1 is the earned settlement system. Let's start with the big one, earned settlement. The gold standard for indefinite leave to remain was 5 years of living and working here. But as of April 2026, the government is shifting the baseline to 10 years. Don't panic yet. It's a time adjustment model. Think of it like a sliding scale. The baseline 10 years for most migrants. The fast track accelerators are: if you earn over 125,000 and 140 pounds for 3 years, you could settle in just 3 years. If you earn over 50,270 pounds, you can stay on the 5-year track. The slow track, which is the accelerators, if you are in a medium skilled role below RQF level 6 and if you have relied on public funds, your wait could extend to 15 or even 20 years. The keynote here is that the government is also looking at social contributions. So this means things like volunteering or high level English, which is C1 level, could shave a year off your wait. Essentially, the UK is saying the more you contribute, the faster you settle. Talking about the social contribution points, now I mentioned the 10-year baseline, but the government is introducing a social contribution category. This is the first time the UK is moving towards a truly holistic settlement model. Beyond your salary, you can now earn time credits, essentially shaving 12 to 24 months off your ILR wait by providing social integration. This includes things like certified volunteering, registered charity work for over 2 years, high level English, moving from B2 to C1 or C2 level proficiency, home ownership. While not confirmed as a primary factor, it's being discussed as a stability marker in the 2026 white paper. This is a game changer because it means settlement isn't just about your paycheck anymore. It's about how deep your roots are in the UK. Section 2 is higher English and salary thresholds. Next up is a change that hit in January 2026, the English language requirement. If you are applying for a skilled worker scale up or a high potential individual visa, the requirement has jumped from B1 to B2. Why does this matter? Now B1 is intermediate, you can get by. B2 is upper intermediate. It requires you to understand complex technical discussions. This is specifically designed to ensure better integration, but it means many people switching from graduate visas will need to retake their IELTS or PT at a higher level. And speaking of skilled workers, the general salary threshold is now firmly at 41,700 pounds for most new applicants. While there are lower rates for new entrants, around 33,400 pounds, the pressure to find high paying sponsorship is higher than ever. Talking about the settlement gap for families and dependents. One thing many creators are missing is what happens to dependents under the 10-year rule. Previously, if the main applicant got ILR, the dependents usually followed if they met the 5-year residency. Under the 2026 rules, dependents are now being assessed on their own economic contribution if they are over 18. If a partner isn't working or earns below the low earnings limit of 12,570 pounds, they may not qualify for the accelerated 5-year settlement even if the main applicant does. This could lead to a settlement gap where the lead applicant is a PR holder, but the spouse is stuck on extensions for another 5 years. If you are a family unit, you need to plan your household income together to avoid this trap. Section 3 is the graduate visa squeeze. To my students watching, the graduate route post-study work is being tightened. While applications made before 31st December 2026 still get the 2-year stay, anyone applying from January 1st, 2027 will see that reduced to just 18 months. The government's logic is that 18 months is enough to find a sponsored skilled job. In reality, this puts massive pressure on graduates to start their job hunt the moment they arrive, rather than waiting until they finish their degree. If you are graduating in 2026, my advice is simple. Apply for your graduate visa the moment you are eligible to lock in that 2-year period. Section 4 is ETA and the border. A quick update for those planning to visit or travel. The Electronic Travel Authorization (ETA) is now fully enforced as of February 2026. It's a no permission, no travel policy. Even if you come from a visa exempt country like the USA, Canada, or the EU, you must have a digital ETA before you board your flight. It costs £16, which is set to rise to £20 soon and is usually linked digitally to your passport. Don't get caught at the airport without it. Talking about the visa break and restricted nationalities, we also have to talk about a major update that hit in March 2026, the visa break. For the first time, the Home Office has temporarily frozen student and skilled worker applications for certain nationalities, specifically including Afghanistan, Cameroon, Myanmar, and Sudan, due to a sharp rise in asylum claims from within those routes. If you are a national of these countries or you employ people who are, you need to be aware that new entry clearance is currently on pause. This doesn't affect those already here on valid visas, but it shows just how quickly the 2026 landscape is shifting based on net migration data. Section 5 is personal commentary and reality check. Now, I've seen a lot of comments from people saying the UK is closed or it's not worth it anymore. As someone living here, I want to be real with you. The UK isn't closed, but it is becoming more selective. The government is prioritizing high earners and specific sectors like STEM and healthcare. Does it feel unfair that the 5-year ILR route is changing? For many, it's a yes. It adds years of uncertainty. But if you have a clear plan, a high demand skill, and you are proactive about your English and your salary, the door is still open. It just requires a much better game plan than it did 2 years ago. Talking about the protection and refugee route overhaul, finally a massive change for those on protection or humanitarian routes. Since March 2026, the initial grant of stay has been cut from 5 years down to just 30 months. Additionally, the path to settlement for new asylum seekers has been extended to 20 years unless they transition into work or study routes to earn deductions. This is a clear signal from the government. They want the settlement to be an economic prize rather than an automatic right for those on protection tracks. Now, section 6 is my practical advice. So, what should you do right now? Number 1 is check your salary. If you are on a skilled worker visa, aim for that £50,270 bracket if possible. It is the difference between a 5-year and a 10-year wait for PR. Second is English level. Don't just settle for B1, aim for C1. Not only does it help with jobs, but under the new rules, it could shave a year off your settlement time. Number 3 is timing is everything. If you are eligible to switch visas or apply for ILR now, do it. Don't wait for more consultations to end. Number 4 is documentation. With the 10-year baseline, keeping a continuous residence log and proof of national insurance contributions is vital. The Home Office is looking for contributions, so keep every P60 and every payslip. The rules are changing, but your dream of living in the UK doesn't have to end. It just needs to evolve. I'll be keeping a close eye on the final results of the earned settlement conclusion, so make sure you subscribe for the next update. If you're worried about your specific visa category, I've put a link in the description to the official gov.uk guidance on the 2026 changes. Would you like me to deep dive into the specific social contribution points and how much you can earn them? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.